welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim, and our guest today is Jared Caplan. So, Jared, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Jared Caplan, and I'm a business owner, operator, entrepreneur. I've got a number of different enterprises that I operate. I'm a big believer in business and focus and commitment. So, over my career, I've established a number of different of expertise and proprietary stewardship type properties. So, I am launching Driver, which is the future of wellness, and it's really a position that we're taking in XR, extended reality.
That's really exciting. So, I guess you mentioned, focus and running multiple businesses. Because for me, it's like, I think for a lot of people, that can be very contradicting, right? So, I guess, how do you manage those two things in your life?
Well, what I do is it's always been my aspiration and operational goal to work on my businesses instead of in them. And so it's really about, creating a business focus and then recruiting and hiring the best people to run and operate my business.
So, how do you find those people? I think that so many people have a lot of trouble hiring, finding like the right people, and also trustworthy people. Because it's like, how do you trust? Like, how do you go about that process?
Well, it's difficult. I mean, trust is there's nothing more speedy or effective than trust, and you can't grow if you don't trust. I think it's part of being human and interacting. And one thing I think about, I can't remember the name of the movie, but I think about this one quote from a movie. It was a father trying to provide guidance to his daughter who wanted to follow in his footsteps of being a burglar, like a jewel thief. And he said, trust everybody, just not their devil within. And I think about that. I mean, I think that ultimately it's really not the devil within. It's kind of like the goodness within that really is who we're trusting. And, as the business owner and the leader, I believe it's my job to set up a platform and a system of values. I'm a big believer in principled and value-based decision making. And so, laying those out, and I find that, providing a platform where you can have a lot of transparency is really compelling for the team, and it's a great way to lead, and I've learned how to lead that way over the years, working with mentors and coaches and things of that nature.
I guess when you talk about values, like I guess is there a specific quality that I'm sure you're probably interviewing several candidates to, for your company, but like what is one quality that I guess stands out for you against all the people that you've hired that have been very successful working for you?
It's interesting. Everybody's so unique and each situation's so unique. But, when I think about the hires that have turned into long lasting, growth oriented kind of relationships, it's always been, I've always really felt like there's, somebody who has, I have to generally work on my level with people who have a pretty substantial amount of experience being successful. I just feel like we do have in my operations, we really don't have that many entry level kind of positions. Honestly, I mean, it's we're really kind of looking for people who've been experienced and been able to exhibit a level of success in their careers and a level of stability. I'm a big believer that stability beats out ability every time. It's just being able to be the infinite player and be there to grow and learn on a daily. It's not necessarily, I have a long term vision with a focus on daily positive results, and I'm committed, and our team is committed. Everybody on the team is committed to service excellence, which is a very particular definition that I created to operate, and and it's very nuanced. So and it's accessible, and everybody buys into it. And I've always been successful or most successful operating premium businesses, premium brands, being the number one, the leader in the market, creating more value by far and being so highly differentiated that, when people want to work together and then, there's not really price issues. I mean, I'm not a big negotiator.
No, it's good. So I guess I'll ask you. So I guess just starting out, right? So let's backtrack. Have you always been an entrepreneur, or I guess like what inspired you to do this?
At a very early age, I was about 6 years old. I figured out that if I collected the glass bottles, I could turn them in for 5 cents, and I didn't have to ask for permission to buy the kind of candy that I wanted. So it was always an obvious attraction to me to, create value and be proprietary. So I certainly wouldn't have described it that way when I was 6. But after all this time and thinking through things and reflection and learning and growing, I expanded my business to where I bought. Well, I didn't buy. I just kind of raided our family pantry for and created grilled cheese sandwiches and bought Coca-Colas and put them in my red wagon. And we were one of the first houses in a subdivision developing. So, there's always, an easy opportunity to make some cash.
Awesome.
That's good. That's good. So, by the way, what's your favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur?
Well, I feel very free, and
Really?
I love being independent and being able to. What I at this point feel like I do in my career is I maximize talent and I help others. And when I'm in business with people, my goal is to take them exactly where they want to go in business. And I aspire to be a super boss in that regard, and really kind of help people become the people and the executives that they really want to be. And so there's a real benefit and joy in that. And so, it's like, it doesn't cost you anything to light somebody else's candle kind of thing. So that's how I see the world, and sharing light and turning people on to growth and evolution and becoming the people that they want to become. So, I've helped people make millions and millions of dollars for their own account in my career, and I'm proud to be able to say that. And I always aspire to kind of be a game changer, and it's just one person at a time.
It's amazing. So I guess who inspires you, or like who do you look up to, I guess, day to day or just in general in business?
Well, one of my favorite business thinkers is Dan Pink. He does a great TED Talk, and I adopted his TED Talk and the principles he outlines in his TED Talk based on, academic research into business management to create the cultures of my companies. And so essentially, all the cultures of my companies are based on 3 principles, which he outlined in his TED Talk, and it's autonomy, mastery, and purpose. And so, the people on my team are self-directed, and I invest in the best training, in the best operating platform, in the best tools. And so that's the mastery. So we're always learning and growing, and you really want to have somebody who's responsible for results in their area, take ownership. And so in our vernacular in the world, we assume ownership. And so when our team grows and achieves business accomplishments, we all benefit financially. So that's how I organize. And so Dan Pink is an excellent, brilliant thinker in that regard. That I really have taken what he said in that particular TED Talk, and for many years have operated based on those principles.
Okay, that's great. So, by the way, what's the tech role, tech word role, I can say, in your business? As you said, like you already mentioned about it. Like, so how is it facilitating you? How is it helping you out in your business?
How's what happened? I'm sorry. What?
Technology. How technology? Yeah, technology is helping your system. How technology is helping your business?
How does technology help our business? Well, I remember years ago, I got my master's in business, and I studied decision sciences in the business school at Georgia State University, and I got my master's in decision sciences at Georgia State University. And decision sciences, I focus on computerized decision support systems. And one of the articles that I'll never forget reading was called Flying by Wire. It was a Harvard Business Review article. And it was, these were the days before the graphical user interface on the internet. It was all about, the gopher, and it was just a long time ago. And the author of that article foresaw business being operating a business being like flying an airplane. If you think about a pilot, there's a tremendous number of instruments on the panel, and they're getting all kinds of feedback about the environment and the atmosphere and the direction, navigation, and how to manage the actual craft. And so that was kind of the vision of what was coming. And for one of my companies, we hire 10 to 12 people per week, and we have really 4 people on that team require recruiting, hiring, training, staffing, but they use a patchwork of 5 cloud-based systems that we get from vendors. And so really, that's just an example of one of the, functions of one of my companies. But basically, there's just so many different platforms that work together to get the result that the company needs to produce to deliver the value that we need to be successful. So technology is absolutely essential. And I mean, I have a very broad understanding of what technology is. I think that it bleeds into my understanding of what an operational definition is. I think ultimately technology is a social convention. And, there's all kinds of capabilities that we have that are unused. And there's reams of patents that just will never be accessed, but research has created them, but they will just never be adopted socially and utilized. And then, often, the creators of something, have no idea what it's going to be used for, how it actually comes to add value. So, it's really, a lot of the important thought is playing and being playful with your work and kind of figuring out how things, can work together so that, everybody feels accomplished.
So, when we are using a lot of things in the tech world, and especially while we are using some third-party things as well to just to support your business or help your business. In these scenarios, there are cases like you might have some problems with the tech as well. While tech is giving you benefits, on the other hand, there must be some trade-offs. Like there are some problems you are facing with the tech. So if you can share with us.
So interestingly, like the first thing that comes to mind, and this is, I think, a very powerful example because it's prolific and powerful and really speaks to, the delivery of value. I've recently, for years, I've been utilizing ADP for our payroll.
Mm-hmm.
And this is really just, I think sheds light on expertise as well, expertise in technology as well, is that they pay, 1 out of 5 people in the country, gets one of their paychecks. And, beyond doing the payroll, I really just have a tremendous distaste and disregard and annoyance with ADP. I feel like it's overwhelmingly difficult to get value out of everything else that they provide around their technology. Well, that said, the thing that they do so well. So, last year we had 235 employees and everybody got paid on time. And everything got filed correctly with the authority. And W-2s went out. And my taxes got filed right. And I'm addicted to the platform and I make every so often concerted efforts to go in a different direction. But that technology that they have, the very core, focused, confident, and capability that they provide to me as a business owner operator, I just don't have to think about. I don't have to worry about. And the idea of switching and having issues is, very intimidating. So switching cost issue. So, it's really, when I got involved with ADP in the beginning, it was because my franchisor had recommended them. I looked at different ones, and there seemed to be a tremendous amount of capability, which, all those other capabilities and everything else outside of their distinctive competence are things that I just really haven't figured out how to, take advantage of too much. But the distinctive competence is what keeps me there.
That makes sense. So I guess for your businesses, like, what are your goals for the next 3 to 6 months? Like, what is your number one priority right now?
Yeah, it's interesting. I saw an article. Jeff Bezos said he's everything he works on is something that's going to be happening in a year or 2, 3 years, kind of thing. So, I at this point have a sense of I can only at this point I'm not deaf and I can't move too quick and make things happen too quickly. I've got to, I'm a leader. And a lot of times, it takes me doing it and then people see and believe and can follow. And, I'm doing a launch of Thriver. And, I've been launching Thriver in different iterations arguably since 2011. I've just been working on a lot of these ideas and thoughts and concepts, and everything in 2011 was informed by stuff prior. So your entire life prepares you for this moment. And so, over the next 6 months, I'm hoping to have a successful launch and opening for Thriver, certainly.
It's exciting, and we're rooting for you. So I guess just to wrap it up, what advice would you get to someone who's younger, just starting out, maybe wants to be an entrepreneur? Like, what advice would you get to somebody like that so they can be like in your position one day?
Yeah, I'm thinking hard because I want to say something, doable, meaningful, and responsible. I think that, being committed and focused is irreplaceable. I'm, advanced in my career, and I've always wanted to be where I am. And, I could have never told you how I would have gotten here, So, but, it's just like, nobody probably as a, 6 or 8 year old dreams of being like the best tax attorney in the world or something like that. But thinking about it I'm a huge believer in life and playing to your strength and tapping into your passion and being playful and excited about and being and pursuing your interests and like what makes you curious and hunt it down and find out why it works and works the way it does. And also there's no replacement for a passion for service and taking care of other people. Essentially, I think that's what the economy is about. It's like training wheels. And we just all need to kind of figure out how to take care of each other and really being, having, technical competence and capability and understanding and insightfulness is really an important, all important things that add value to people in their lives. So it's probably not too elegant. But
no, that was very inspiring, very inspiring, and no, it's good. I think it's good. I think it's like for like a lot of people listening, it's something that I think people don't think about, especially, I mean, to your point, when you're 8 years old, you don't think about, being an entrepreneur per se, but it's just a matter of 100% finding what you're passionate about, something that you're willing to, put the work in for and staying focused. Because I think so many people are always looking for that. They're not focused. And, and that's amazing, by the way, you run multiple companies and that you're able to stay focused and disciplined and be successful with it. I think so many people struggle with that. But yeah, I mean, thank you so much for your time, Jared. I really enjoyed this conversation and I learned a lot. So yeah, thanks again.
Well, thank you for the interest and opportunity to visit. And it was great to meet you, Dan and Qasim.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great
Did I
rest
say
of your
that
day.
correctly? Did I say that
Yeah.
correctly?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, Qasim.
I just want to make sure. And
Awesome.
thank you very, very much for all the work that you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a
yeah.
great rest of your day.
You too. Take care.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.